In this video, I'll give a brief explanation of how to use KOTO 13. Let's begin by loading the program. Inside the KOTO 13 folder is a subfolder called Instruments. From this folder, drag the file 13-string KOTO NKI into your Kontakt window. As you can see, KOTO 13 is now loaded into Kontakt. Now, let's hear some of the actual sounds the program can produce. As you can hear, KOTO 13 provides extremely natural control over the KOTO's many dynamics and articulations. Let's try out some of the program's articulations. The current articulation is selected with key switches. This is the sound when plucking with the thumb. And now the sound when plucking with the middle finger. This is the pizzicato articulation. This is the tsuki-iro plucking style. This articulation bends the string up a whole tone. This is the tsukui-zume plucking. And tremolo. You can control the dynamics of the tremolo articulation with the modulation wheel. The current articulation is always displayed at the top of the program window, regardless of which pane, mix, play, or memory is open. When using a keyboard with KOTO 13, you also have access to the phrase bank feature. The phrase banks are mapped to notes in the upper register. The phrase bank is selected with the key switches marked in yellow. The green key switches are used to play the different phrases. The current phrase bank is always displayed in the top right of the program window. Let's take a look at the interface. KOTO 13 has three panes: the mix pane, the play pane, and the memory pane. The mix pane is mainly used for sound production using an audio mixer. The play pane is for selecting the scale and adjusting performance nuances. The memory pane lets you save memory and CPU cycles by disabling unwanted articulations. Let's take a closer look at the mix pane. KOTO 13 has 4 microphone positions: direct, overhead, room, and a pre-mixed stereo mix. When the program first launches, only the stereo mix is enabled to save memory. We recommend that you turn on the direct, overhead, and room microphones for more realism. The mix pane comes with an audio mixer for adjusting each microphone position. The stereo mix and the other microphone positions are mutually exclusive. Enabling any of the microphone positions will disable the stereo mix and vice versa. Let's look at the audio mixer. It has controls for volume, pan, and reverb send. KOTO 13 is packaged with 48 convolution reverbs. The microphone channels can be sent to different outputs, so you can record each channel as a separate track in your DAW. Each channel also has its own 4-band equalizer. The E button under each channel opens the equalizer window. The adjacent button toggles the equalizer settings on or off. Let's move to the play pane. On this pane, you can select the scale from 28 classic KOTO scales. For example, this is the Hira scale in D, and the Gaku scale in D. Selecting a scale maps the notes of the 13 KOTO strings to 13 adjacent white keys. This mapping enables lifelike KOTO performances with just a simple piano glissando. There is also a user scale mode. This function lets you create original scales for individual musical pieces. It is very easy to create a user scale. First, select a preset scale and copy it to the user scale. Then, adjust the pitch up or down of the strings you want to modify. This is similar to how the pitch is adjusted on a real KOTO. People who have played the KOTO will find this process very natural. This is a new user scale created by editing the Hira scale. Other features include the ability to drop the first string of a scale by an octave and to transpose preset scales to other keys. These features are not available with the user scale. Of course, KOTO 13 comes with a chromatic scale mode, so the program responds like a normal keyboard. Plucking control is another special feature unique to KOTO 13. Plucking control tailors the plectrum attack for an array of nuances. This is possible because the samples capture the KOTO's sonic characteristics from the moment the plectrum first strikes the string until it clears the string. You can choose to randomize the attack nuance. Pre-roll adjusts the length of the attack nuance. Variance adjusts how much randomization is applied. The plucking nuance can be adjusted at any time with the modulation wheel. With the modulation wheel at the minimum setting, you get the slowest nuance. With the modulation wheel at the maximum setting, it changes to a fast attack. The envelope control sets the release time. The sustain pedal is normally used to produce long sustained notes. You can also get long sustain by setting envelope to the maximum release time. The phrase control sets the speed and tuning of the preset phrases. This is useful to adjust phrases to match the key of your song or scale. Finally, I'll show an example of using KOTO 13 with MIDI data. But first, I'll give some simple tips on how to make a KOTO performance sound realistic. When playing a descending melody, use the picking thumb articulation. When playing an ascending melody, use either the picking middle or picking index articulation. When using the tremolo articulation, experiment alternating the dynamics with the modulation wheel. Now, let's listen to KOTO 13 operating with a MIDI sequencer. In this area, you can see the articulation changes with key switches and the dynamic and attack variations with the modulation wheel. And there you have it. You can reproduce a real KOTO performance this easily with KOTO 13. Thanks for watching.